today I will be recreating this cake I made for my niece 10 years ago for my daughter's 2nd birthday. Okay, y'all, it took me way too long. We're losing the fondant right here. Okay, I think we'll be good. Where's the front part? To hit 8 p.m. My forehead is... What happened? As many of you guys know, my niece Cristal, she was basically like my first daughter before having my actual first daughter. So this is a whole full circle for me and I'm excited. I created her castle cake. So I'm excited to be recreating it now for my daughter. When I made my niece's cake, it was like a mission to me. I remember to try and make it as tall as her. So for today, we are on a mission to try and also make this cake as big as Kaeli. And it worked out perfect because I wanted to recreate the castle cake. And right now, Kaeli is really into princes. So it was just like meant to be. If you guys watch my cake videos, you guys know I always like to sketch the cake that I'm going to be doing. I'm just a visual kind of girly that I have to see it in paper. That way I know kind of what I'm going into. So here is my sketch. I'm going to be doing a 6, 8, and 10-inch tier cake. And what's going to really make it tall is going to be the whole castle pieces to it. This cake was, like I said, 10 years ago. And I'm actually really happy with how it came out. But we are in 2024, so I wanted to revamp it a little bit, but still recreate it to where it still looks like the same cake, but just a little bit better. So now to get straight into the fun part, which is the cake decorating, I have decided to make this cake fondant. And for that, I went ahead and already crumb coated all of my cakes. That way we can have a little head start. And my cakes will be vanilla with cajeta filling. And now I'm going to give it the final layer of frosting. This is going to be buttercream. And if you guys know, if you know, you know, if you play with fondant, this has to be smooth, crispy, because fondant will read any little mishaps under. Yeah, I like to take my sweet time when I frost my cakes, and I actually find this very therapeutic. So let's get the first layer frosted and ready for the fondant. Okay, first layer is done. Now to the second one. Okay, yeah, we love buttercream around here, but can we just talk about how heavy it is? By the end of me frosting and these 3 tiers, it's literally like an arm workout for me. Okay, we are done cake frosting. Now for the fun part and more muscle work, we have to roll out the fondant and cover this up. I put all of my layers in the fridge for a little bit just so the buttercream can be nice, set, and hard. And a little tip and trick, if you will, that I like to do is with a napkin, ideally one with no print, which I forgot to grab. So this one will be just fine. I like to kind of smooth out the top as well as the corners and the edges, just because I don't want for anything to read through my fondant. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Now to clean up my board, any residue I have, I'll put my spatula, I wrap it with a wipey, and then that way I can get a nice, clean, sharp edge and a clean board. Okay, I'm gonna move this to the side a little bit, and now bring in my fondant roller. Fun fact, I got this one off Amazon and I love how big it is because I never run out of space. And my fondant roller. So to know how big I'm going to roll this out, I'm telling you guys, I used to never really play with fondant. And then for Kaeli'S cake, his 2nd birthday cake, this one right here that I made, Toy Story, I watched so many tutorials and videos on how to become a professional at fondant. So here we are now as a professional. And basically you want to measure the sides, the top, and the other side, add that up, and then that's how big you want to roll this out. So that's 6 plus 10 plus 6 gives us 22, and you want to have some extra space, so you want to roll this out 24 inches, girls. I also invested, well, this was actually like $1, on this right here. Look how cool. It's actually a sugar, how do you call it? Shaker? Shaker, I can never think of the words. That way I can get my sugar across. And why does it not want to work as I'm explaining this to you guys? That way nothing sticks. And now for the real workout, girls. We're about to roll this out. I might need my mans actually.
I'm right here, baby.
Okay, babe, time to clock in. Guys, normally when I do cakes that are a little bit smaller than a 10-inch, it's not that big of a deal. But for a 10-inch, this has to roll out basically the size of the board. So this is where the muscle come in, and then I'll jump in towards that.
Is it? No?
Oh no, girl, it has to be like this big.
Oh, like the entire
It has to be 24 inch. Yeah. Oh, another really cool thing about this mat is that it has the measurements on the mat. So right here, the biggest is 20 inches. I wanted about, we said 23, 24 inches. So we need to roll more, baby.
You got enough of this dough or whatever?
Yeah, actually, we need more fondant. Cut the cameras. More fondant, soften it up a tiny bit. With fondant, you don't want to heat it up too much because it's going to just melt and spread everywhere. But I think this is good enough. Show us what you got, babe. Honestly, I just need a little bit of help, like for the top part, and then I'll do the rest. That is not looking like a circle, boy. I just need help with like lowering the mountain, you know what I mean? Okay, let's reshape this out to a circle. My breath here. You also want to have a little needle, and then it's gonna create some air bubbles. So you just wanna pop it as you smooth it out. That way your cake has no air bubbles, girls. I'm giving y'all all the tips and tricks because I already watched all the tutorials that I was telling you guys, and now I just share with you guys the top tips. I think I have rolled this out big enough. Let me just say this is a 10-inch. I don't know if I would wrap something in fondant anything bigger than a 12-inch because this is big, girl. I'm gonna spray my cake a tiny bit with water just to make the buttercream sticky. Here we go, ladies. Trying to make sure it's the same thickness all around. That seems about right. You don't want to roll it out too thin because then if not, it's going to rip on you. I'm giving you guys all these tips. This better apply perfectly. Okay, I'm gonna roll it into my roll and throw it over my cake. Once this goes down, there's no moving it around. Okay, I think we'll be good. Where's the front part? We're good. Now to roll this out, you guys see how I over dripped it here and then this one a little short, but I think we'll still be good. I like to just keep spinning it around and then with the warmth of my hand, kind of just like get it in there. When I use this, it starts indenting the edges. So wash your hands, ladies, and kind of just play with it till everything smooths out. That's why I like to leave the fondant a good kind of thickness. That way I have space to stretch it out and it not rip. Ta-da! Okay, now to cut off all of the excess, we're gonna use the pizza roller and get rid of all of the extraness. And there it is. Clean up the edges and just make them extra crispy. And last but not least, with the leveler, make sure everything is nice and even, especially because this is the bottom layer. You don't want it to be floppy. So right here, it's a tiny bit. So I'm just gonna, wait, that means, so I'm gonna apply a tiny bit of pressure over here. Okay, there we have it, a leveled cake. And this can be too off because if it's like completely like this, girl, then you might have to start all over. But if it's a tiny bit, you can get away with it by kind of just pressing it where you have to. That way your main base is as even as it's going to get and you don't have a lopsided cake at the end. We need all the levelness we can get. So let's move this one out the way and do all of those fun steps for tier number 2 and tier number 3. Babe, 6 plus 8 plus 6. Oh, 10 years later. 20 inches. On the pin. Okay. He was not aware it had to be rolled out in a circle, so we're giving him one more take.
Yeah, I didn't know, guys. I thought it was just like flatten it, but we're gonna get that motion, you know. You see, I'm ready. Cool.
Okay, my cakes are all wrapped up in fondant. Now to get to the, I guess, structural side of things, I have here my stacking rods. When the cake is not too heavy, I'll go ahead and use these, my smoothie straws. But because this cake is going to be heavy, like I think really heavy, I'm gonna use these at the bottom tier. That way it has good support. Okay, little brain fart right there. I forgot I actually want to do this. I did this for one of my cakes. I don't remember. And this is going to go right here. And my cakes are going to follow this. That way everything has that extra support. And now for the rods right here, that way my cake has some good support at the bottom. Okay, done stack prepping the second tier. This top tier does not need any kind of support since it's going to go at the very top. But girls, that was a lot of work. I'm starting to get so hungry.
Don't worry, babe. We have HelloFresh.
HelloFresh delivers everything fresh and pre-proportioned straight to our door. No, literally, for us to get straight to cooking. They even include step-by-step instructions and an ever-changing menu of 50 recipes per week. You just pick your meals, choose a delivery date, and that's it. That's simple. Plans change and life gets busy. That's why HelloFresh lets you easily customize your delivery from week to week. Everything is tailored to your schedule. Just adjust your delivery date, or you can even skip a week when you're just not able to cook at home. With summer coming to an end and busier days ahead, now is the perfect opportunity to save time and money when it comes to your dinner routine. Go ahead and skip the meal planning and grocery store lines and cut down on food waste with HelloFresh convenient doorstep delivery and pre-measured ingredients. We love our home-cooked meals, but sometimes me and Alex just forget to go grocery shopping, and this is when we love our HelloFresh because we're not trying to do takeout. Cheers, babe. I need 3 more. For free breakfast for life, go to HelloFresh.com and use my code FREE-LET'S-DO-MAKEUP. That's free breakfast for life, one free breakfast item while your subscription is active by going to HelloFresh.com and using my code FREE-LET'S-DO-MAKEUP. Thank you HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Now let me eat these up and get back to the cake decoration. So before I stack my cakes, I like to put all of the pieces together, and for that we have to make the castle come to life. So we have these little castle towers right here, which I need 9 of. Another great example of why I like to pre-sketch, that way I know exactly how many of everything I'm going to need. So to put these together, I actually went ahead and ordered these, what are they called, cardboard toilet paper rollers off Amazon. Fun fact, when I did my niece's cake, I remember at the time there was no Amazon, or I don't really remember. I just know I had to make everybody please donate toilet paper rolls so I could use it for her cake. These will obviously not be eaten, so we were good. But this time I went on Amazon and I was able to just get the whole pack. That way we don't have the whole family running to the restroom. And then I went ahead and rolled out some white fondant. I added a little bit of water to the fondant, that way it could stick to the rod. Rolled the fondant on the roll, and now we had this right here. Now for the top part, for her cake, I used ice cream cones, but this time, shout out Amazon, I also found cones, which I thought was so much better because with the ice cream cones, normally they crack and it becomes really messy. So for that, I again used purple fondant, and I wanted to give it a little bit of a pattern, so I used a pattern tracer. Basically just pressed it down on the fondant, that way we could get the pattern going. And then to finish it off and give it a little bit more dimension, I added this right here. So I went ahead and actually did these last night because it is way too many, girl, and I just be getting in my zone. But I did leave one unassembled, that way I could show you girlies how I put these together. And now to bring the other contestants into the frame, here we are with the whole pieces done already, except this one because I want to show you guys. So here's this, and basically fondant sticks with water, so you want to add a little bit of water to the top of your, what do we want to call this, roll. And with this one right here, press it on top. I also made sure the back lines lined up at the back, that way when you put it on your cake, you make sure all the lines are facing the back of the cake and everything from the back looks nice, clean, and seamless. I also applied a little bit of pressure to stick these two together. Rolls, pillars, toilet paper, I don't know what to call these tubes. But now to add the little flags, we have a little toothpick right here. I went ahead and cut out little triangles, and these have also dried overnight, that way the fondant is nice and strong. If you do these and try to put them on within 10 minutes or even the hour, the fondant is just going to flop because it's very soft. So make sure these are hardened overnight, and then you want to just stab these to the top of the tower, and there you have it, ladies. Some castle towers. These are actually not edible, but they'll flow with the whole cake. Okay, so this is what we have, and this is what it's looking like to give it more of that 3D dimension and for them to not look so flat anymore. Okay, now that we have that situated, I'm gonna go ahead and add the little flags on top of each tower. Ta-da! Okay, I feel like I'm already seeing the castle even without the actual cake. I'm like, it's looking like a castle, girl. So this is very time consuming, but it's basically just the same steps over and over. But yeah, I'm so happy. I like how this is coming along. Now to finish off, oh, I might have messed up a little bit. Brain explosion. Back to the windows. Honestly, maybe we can just mix and match which ones have windows. Not all of them have to have the little ones, the little windows, but these right here are also made out of fondant. I used my little fondant mold to create the windows, and last night I actually posted this on my story. I was just having a good time. It was like midnight, about to be midnight, and I was over here in my Picasso world painting these. I'm just missing one window to paint, that way I can do that one with you guys as well. Basically, we need some luster dust, which I have right here, and to activate this we're gonna need 2 shots of vodka. Alex woke up this morning and the bottle of vodka was literally in the kitchen. He's like, were you good last night? But you just need a tiny bit, literally like a drop or two, to get the dust activated and kind of just play with it. So I like to throw a little bit in my bowl, and with the brush I'll be using to paint, dump it in there. And I'm telling you guys, you literally need a drop or two and it'll basically give it like a paint consistency. Okay, now that we have the whole gold paint going, I'm actually gonna finish off the door. Where's the door? the door. So little things like this, I do like to do them the day before. That way they harden for me pretty well. This one, because it is going to be the door of the last tier, the 10 tier, I want for it to kind of have this fold, which is why I set it like this overnight. And I got a little head start last night, but basically I want to paint the border, the handles, and the little details of the door in gold dust as well. Okay, the doors are done, the windows are done. Basically all the little tiny pieces seem to be done. Now for the windows, I totally forgot. I went ahead and placed the brick before the window, so I'm like, but thankfully I feel like I actually so happened to leave about the same space to the tall towers. Guys, we actually found a
Energy time.
cheers. I told Alex to make me a salud. Energy Focus is normally the ones that I like to take either early in the morning or like a midday pick us up. 5 calories only and a little pick me up to get going. Fun fact, it is currently about to be 4 p.m. and we started at 9 in the morning today. It was yesterday. But anyways, we found a solution, as I was saying, to this right here, because I put the brick before I put the window. So ladies, I want the window right here. I'm gonna go ahead and actually carve out the brick, which worked out perfectly because look at this. This is the after. Oh my God, there's a little, y'all saw that? I actually love how this looks. It seems like the window was like placed over the brick. So this was actually a blessing in disguise. $1,000 and I'll make you holler. I mean, $1,000, babe, and I'll make this cake for you. I needed that. Okay, we've made it this far. Now we have the door for the first tier. I always like to have, for every tier to kind of have something going. The bottom tier you guys saw has a door. The middle tier, I want for it to have her name. One thing about me, I think I've mentioned it before, is I love when cakes have the name of whoever is being celebrated, just to have that personal touch. So the middle tier is gonna have her name, only thing we're missing. And then the top tier, as you guys saw for my niece's cake, has the number 2. However, I feel like this is giving a little boring, a little plain. I feel like we have to spice this up a little bit. So I'm gonna add a border, the beaded border to kind of match the door, get her name going, and I think we'll be done. So let's get in my zone and just finish those last 2 things we have going to bring the castle to life. Okay, so for her name, I don't have an exact shape of a name tag, if you will. So I kind of created my own with these little fondant molds, pressed some fondant in, and I realized that 4 of them created a circle. Then I went ahead and pressed out the letters of her name, that way that can be in the center, and rolled out some white fondant. So I'm basically kind of DIYing her whole nameplate. So towards the end, it started getting a little messy just because I did not have time to let the paint dry. I'm gonna let this fully dry now. We're back, finally done with all the pieces of the castle. So finally, let's put it together. This is actually my favorite part, seeing the cake actually come to life. So I even have my ladder next to me ready because this cake is about to get topped. So bottom tier is done. Let's bring out the second tier. So I've had these sitting in the fridge. That way they are nice, not soft, because we don't want no mishaps to happen. Now I'm gonna slide this off. I already, if you guys remember, pre-poked the bottom. Okay, there we go. There we go. There's one. Girl, this cake is not going anywhere. Now to bring out the third tier. And the beauty of fondant is that I feel so much more comfortable playing or like stacking fondant cakes opposed to buttercream. Like it's that simple. Oh yeah, this is sturdy. So now to cover up the edges, I'm going to add a little bit of a brick fondant wall. I just realized a little something. I just can't work with the cake kind of like if I can't turn it. So basically,
it's very scary.
I called Alex in because I need to put this on a turntable. That way I can see all the angles of it. But girl, this is heavy. Like this is getting real heavy, babe. Support at the bottom always. Holy smokes, this is heavy. Put it up there.
Okay, slide.
Yeah, slide, slide. Now slide to the left, slide to the right. That's not real smooth. Okay. So I basically went ahead and added these rods right here. I kind of under measured, but you can't blame me. I have not done a castle in 10 years. But basically the bottom tier had to be a little bit wider. That way this wouldn't come out. But I think it's okay because I'm going to cover it with the front tower. Let me just actually show you guys. But I'm gonna stab this where I want it. But the question is, okay, this is starting to fall to the side a little bit. I'm debating if I should kind of add a little bit of water right here to make the fondant stick. We're gonna grab a little bit of water, add it to this brick on the side. And we're just gonna basically hope for the best, but I'm gonna hold it here for a little bit. That way it sticks to the cake. Timestamp, it is 6:45, y'all, but we're almost there. Couple seconds later, I went ahead and just stuck fondant on fondant with the cake. That way these do not go anywhere, and we have something like this. Now for the front, we have our door ready and made. I'm gonna go ahead and center it about so where I want it. That way I can go ahead and place my second front tier tower. What are we calling these? Pillars. These were the only tricky ones. Everything else is going to be pretty settled. So I'm gonna place this one right here. So this one is going to be the top centered, and we actually need more space at the top. So let's move up the camera because this cake is getting tall. Top center right here. Okay, I actually put brick right here, which is where the door goes. So I'm gonna remove the brick. That way my door can go flushed, glued straight on the cake. Yeah, I am shining. I am sweating. We've been going at it. Timestamp 7 p.m. I have been boxing with this one right here. Is it this one? Yeah. For the past 15 minutes, it just wants to go to the side. But anyways, down to the last two towers at the top. We're gonna put this one right in the front, and then the last one right next to it, making sure the lines are to the back. Almost done. Now I feel like this is gonna really bring it to life. Adding her name to the middle tier, and last but not least, the number 2, which I love the extra little detail I added, but I feel like this is just gonna fully tie in the whole recreating my niece's cake. So we're gonna put the 2 right at the top. Dang, I got down though, no cap. Hi, baby girl. Mira, mama. Okay, y'all, I thought I was gonna finish like at 4 p.m. It is about to be 8 p.m. Kaeli'S here, which is, I guess, kind of good because I want to measure to see if the cake is going to be as tall as her. Princess, look at the princess cake. It's about to be there. It's about to be there. Okay, so I'm just rolling out the fondant to cover the cardboard pieces that you guys see. So basically, y'all see what I'm talking about? Like, there's no support for this one. So I'm gonna just spray some water and wrap this one up. Okay, so here we have it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put it back under here. Okay, got that situated. Debating if to do this side too. Y'all, we are about to hit 8 p.m. My forehead is... What happened? Okay, no questions asked. We have to do this side. Okay, guys, there is the cake. We are missing just 2 final, I feel like I keep saying this, 2 final little things. One is the little walkway for the princesses. And I feel like it needs a little bit more brick pattern throughout the cake. Guys, we are finally done with the cake, but it is not a princess cake without the princesses. So I actually went ahead and ordered these from eBay. These apparently are discontinued. I could not find them anywhere. I had to order them on eBay, like I said. Took about three weeks to get them, but I wanted like the original princesses. So I feel like these 2 will be the main ones for her party. So we're gonna go ahead and put, what's her name? Belle, I think, up right in the center. And this is just fully bringing the whole princess vision to life. We'll put one right here. We'll put her right here. I feel like it actually came with like 9 of them. I have another 3 over there. I feel like it's way too many princesses. So I think these should be enough. Snow White has to be in here. So we'll add her right here. Okay guys, it is Mama Girl's time, but we must measure if the cake is as tall as her. However, she's a little camera shy. How can we persuade her to stand here? Measuring test. ¿Lo quieres a tocar? Yes. Ok, párate pues aquí para que lo agarres, ¿ok? Mira, esta princesa. ¡Oh! Agárrala, princess. Did she pass the test? I think we were like 2 inches off, but that is good enough. Okay guys, 11 hours today, about 6 hours yesterday. So that puts us at way too many math in this video. Might be my top 2 cakes ever, but yeah, I absolutely love this cake. I cannot wait to cut it tomorrow. You guys will be joining us, coming along for her birthday party. Okay, we're all ready for bedtime, but yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow at the party vlog. Wish us luck and all the good vibes, and I'll keep you guys updated on that vlog if this made it to the party. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching. See you guys on the next cake video. Bye.
Breaking down the barrier. Oh yeah. With the speed of light we cross the stratosphere. Oh yeah.
It's tilting like this. Somebody call the police. Oh.